coming up.
Oh, this is a fix. You've seen the answers.
No, you're going to get this one.
I mean, do I disagree with you straight away? I don't know. Is it too soon to argue with you?
It's not perspective, it's fact.
Because it's a big debate. Is the housing market gonna crash?
Is it indeed? Quiz.
So, we're going through the World Cup. And I thought what I would do is tie that in with property.
Okay.
And I'm going to ask you both to value houses in the countries, the same group as we are in the World Cup.
So we're valuing
Okay.
houses that are based in the country of the teams in our World Cup.
In the group that we're in.
Are these the answers?
Get out of that.
So we're now worldwide estate agents,
Yeah.
mate.
Okay, Mr. Worldwide.
Here we go.
And I've been a bit cool with it as well. So we're going to start off with Croatia.
Okay.
So you've got square footage, you've got a number of bedrooms, you've got a couple of photos.
Yeah.
So you've got a 4-bed detached property in Croatia.
So 3 baths, 1,119 square feet. We've got a picture of a view,
Look at that view, mate.
which is lovely, and we've got a picture of a kitchen, which appears to have 1 cupboard and a cooker.
That's quite European, though, isn't it?
Yes. Okay. All right. So you want me to
They
guess?
go
You
out
want us to
to
guess the
every
price
night.
of this?
Guess the value. Go for
Okay.
it.
Do you want to go first? You can go first.
Okay. I'm going with.
In pounds, Jade. Sorry.
Yeah. So
I'm
I've
going with-
converted the currency.
I'm going with £375,000.
Oh, that's a lot less than I was going to say. Okay. So I will go with £495,000.
Wow. Okay.
I just thought the view. That's really nice.
Yeah.
It is beautiful.
Half
But-
a million for that. Looks like a garden shed,
I'm
doesn't
going to
it?
surprise you both.
I
Well-
hope it's no one's house that's watching this.
Again, it's perspective, isn't it? Because I'm
never
little,
know.
so that would be like a mansion to me.
That's true, mate. That's
Come on then.
295,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
Could have bought 2 of them for my guess.
So is that 1-0 to me?
Yes.
Okay. Good to know.
I don't like losing either, so this is going to go back.
Okay, so Ghana. We have got a 5-bedroom detached property.
Okay.
Duplex, they call them there.
Oh, look at this.
With a swimming pool.
It's to be 2 million,
It's
Bar
a new
Green.
build. It's recently renovated. I actually really like this. Me and Hannah were talking about this morning. She hates it.
This
I
house?
love it.
Accra. That's a city as well, I think.
I've got to be honest,
Yeah.
this isn't a bit of me. I want that little bungalow in Split, please.
Yeah, I mean that.
What are you
that
going
is
with? Figures?
So close to the next doors.
It is. Do you want me to go first on this
Yeah,
one
go
then,
on.
to make it
5
fair?
bedrooms.
So 5 bed, 5 baths, 4,843
It's a big
square
square
feet,
footage,
and it's
that.
got a pool in Ghana. Well, I did a year in Ghana actually.
Oh, now he says.
No, that's cheating.
No.
It's not
he says.
cheating because I
Actually,
didn't.
it's not cheating.
I didn't. I'm lying to you. I think that is.
It's gonna say,
I
what were you
think
doing,
that
Ghana?
is £395,000.
Oh no, I'm thinking way less.
Less.
Yeah. Oh,
I'll give
now
you a
you've just
clue.
said that.
Sorry.
That's don't look at you stitching me up.
They can't even shut up. Go.
425.
Oh, what a bottle job!
495.
You gave him a clue. That's not fair.
No, I didn't mean to say that. I didn't
know
mean
what
to
she
say that.
said. What she said?
Less.
Right, we could
And then
be.
tapped you on the
That was
arm.
the
No.
reaction. I
We
didn't
could.
hear the reaction.
We could be in for a tie. So we're going to move on now to Panama.
Well, to get a
But there's
tie, I've
still-
got to get everything right.
2. Matt's got 2.
I've
you
got
could
none.
have 2. Good luck on this one. Panama City.
Amador, Panama
Ooh.
City.
This
Okay.
is a bit of men.
This is.
Absolutely love
So
it.
is this an apartment?
Infinity pool.
So it is a
gotta be.
1-bedroom apartment with infinity pool. It's also got a fitness leisure facility.
Communal.
Yeah.
Infinity pool. Okay. Panama City.
Looks
Okay.
good, that doesn't it? But
That
it's
looks-
only 1 bed. What are you
Okay.
thinking?
So I've got to go first.
You go
It's
first.
your turn, yeah.
568 square foot. Okay, so it's.
Good luck, Tim.
280.
280.
Yeah.
See, I was automatically
less, aren't
thinking
you?
more than that.
Oh, okay.
But listen, if I'm going to win, I'm going to have to be slightly strategic, aren't I? So I'm going to go 290.
Oh. Go on.
235.
Oh, this is a fix. You've seen the answers.
No, you're going to get this one.
I'd be a lot
He
closer,
hasn't
wouldn't
because
I?
I've been guarding that piece of paper with my life. Come on, you got to get this now.
Oh, no pressure.
So we are.
if you want your house valued, by the way, go to Mr. Doom and Gloom in Bromsgrove. He'll sort you right out.
Mr. Doom and Gloom. Right, we're England now.
Oh, back on home turf.
St Albans.
Is this in Redditch? No, it's not.
Oh, wow.
You wish.
Oh, that's a
Hertfordshire.
monster. Okay.
It's going to be worth a fair bit, this.
It's a 6-bed, 4-bath,
Wow.
nearly
That's
3,200
lovely.
square feet. That's nice.
It's
I
nice.
could have a swim in that bath.
Is that the size of the garden? Garden's a bit pokey,
Garden's
isn't it?
small. Okay. Yeah, that's it. Go on. Is it my turn?
It's your turn. Oh.
I would
St
be.
Albans. Okay.
Yeah, an area that I know nothing about. Probably know more about Ghana. I would say £2.5 million.
Oh, it's got to be more than that.
That's 2.5 million.
Pounds.
It's
Okay.
got to be more than that.
The garden's tiny. It can't be. There's no
Yeah,
land
but-
with that.
Yeah, but that'd be 2.5 million in Barnbury.
Okay, we've had his answer.
I don't know the
Go.
area. All right, £3.5 million.
No, he stayed with 2.5 million. What are you going
This is
with?
going to be an absolute whitewash.
Well, if you give us a figure, we'll find
Okay,
out.
4.
Well done, he's got one
No
right.
way.
He has 2.375.
Yes.
No way.
See, home turf.
That's
I'm
mad,
your
isn't
guy.
it?
And we're at the start of a very, very warm week ahead, apparently.
Yes.
And this could be a fiery episode
Oh.
because it's a big debate. Is the housing market going to crash?
Is it indeed?
Some of
That
us
is the question.
think it could head that way, some of us don't. So I am very much on the negative side of this one. So
Yeah, and I'm a lot more on the positive side.
I'm going to join Matt on the negative, without a doubt.
Okay, so well, stay tuned then. For the next half an hour, it's 2 against 1.
So should we get straight into it?
Yeah.
Go on then. Why
Yeah?
not? Sounds like a plan.
Okay, so there's a lot of stats out there to back it up that it's not necessarily heading towards 2008 again, but there's issues in the housing market. And we've seen that, I think, probably since mid-23, and it's not really moved forward, certainly Bromsgrove area in terms of pricing.
Okay.
There's a record high of properties on the open market for 10 years.
Right, yeah.
The most amount of houses on the market for 10 years.
Yeah.
And that rings true for me.
Go on.
I mean, do I disagree with you straight away? I don't know. Is it too soon to argue with you? I think it's about perspective, isn't it? And I feel like my perspective is slightly different.
It's not perspective, it's fact.
Is it? I
Yeah.
don't know.
It's definitely fact, mate.
I mean,
It's
at,
fact.
at Redditch, for example, the bit that I will acknowledge
Yeah.
is that there is more stock on the market. When I looked earlier, for sale, just in the Redditch area, there's 402 properties for sale.
Yeah.
So I'll acknowledge that bit, but I think there's a lot of negativity out there, a lot of doom and gloom about market crash, house prices dropping, and it's just not a perspective that I see. It's not relevant to me at the minute, based on where I am. But carry on, and I'll tell you if I disagree with you.
Well, we never would normally have as many houses on the open market as Redditch, but we do. We
Okay.
have circa 400 as well
Wow.
across B60 and B61. That's a lot of houses. So take mid 2021 when the housing market was booming, there would be no more than around about 130, 140 houses.
Wow.
So you're talking treble the amount
Yeah.
of stock. And there's a lot of speculation in terms of buyers. Is it a good time to be buying at the moment? Everything is negative, isn't it?
Can I ask a question?
Go on.
So, obviously, you've got a huge range of kind of property prices. Do you find that there's more higher end? that are on
As
the
in not
market?
selling?
Yeah, that are on
Okay.
the market. Or would you say it is across the board? Because what I'm finding in Barnt Green is, I'd probably say 850 plus.
Yeah.
There's so much sticking, and it seems to be those top end properties between 900 and 2 mil. We've got the most amount of houses on the market than we've ever had since we
Okay.
opened.
So what's your take on that then, Matt?
Okay, so ours is a double whammy at the moment in Bromsgrove. It is flooded with new builds,
Okay.
with the Taylor Wimpey site, the Bellway site. We've got a lot of 4-bed detached. So let's be a buyer for a second. You are scouring the market, and all along you're like, no, I want a second-hand home. I want an established housing estate. You know, there's going to be green space. There's going to be, you know, already in probably an area that's close to town, good schools. But the battle is at the moment is you go to that property, on average, you're walking into a second-hand home and you know straight away there's going to be a few things that you're going to want to do to it. So you're going to spend money straight away.
Yeah.
You then go along to the new build estate, which are going to have stock plots ready to move in. And the salesperson there is coming up to you and they're going, right, well, we can give you these upgrades. We can put you in this nice corner plot. We can pay your stamp duty.
Yeah.
There's a lot of incentives out there. So we face that battle, without doubt, in Bromsgrove at the moment, more than I can remember. And then the higher end of the market, in terms of your 750 plus, shall we say, there's a lot of properties that have been on and off the market for a period of time, and I think they're going through a process of probably trying to find the right price in this challenging market.
Yeah.
You've also got that point of what we touched on before we started recording, where there's sometimes a battle to educate buyers and sellers through this tough market.
I think the mentalities are in totally different places. You've got vendors that, rightly so, are expecting a figure, and buyers, because there's so much on the market, especially in Barnt Green, I'm talking, you know, more so for Barnt Green and surrounding areas, because there's so much on the market, those buyers are going out to see a lot of properties. There's a lot of competition out there, then becoming more picky, and then making those two expectations meet is difficult. It is the most difficult that I've seen it.
Well, 86% of houses nationally that have gone under offer this year haven't hit asking price. So what you're touching now is it's true. And don't get me wrong, it's nice to be old school estate agency.
Yeah.
That I enjoy that part of the job, and I think we can all say end of 2020 right through to probably end of 22, a lot of people didn't need to do that.
No, I mean, it was a totally different market then. So there's definitely old school tendencies to the current market, isn't there? You're having to graft more, use your experience, use a bit of craft. So that I agree with. Just go back to what you said there. So 86% of properties that come to market aren't achieving asking price.
Correct.
Wow, and that's a national statistic.
National statistic.
That's pretty big, isn't it? In fairness, I wouldn't have predicted it would be that high. Again, it's perhaps about perspective, because, you know, on a nationalised basis, even by the sounds of it locally, we're almost experiencing 3 different market conditions in relatively close proximity to one another. It's also interesting, I agree with what you said about the new build. I mean, in Redditch, there's a large area called Brock Hill, and Persimmon are building there and have been for quite some time. There are other developments within Redditch. Yeah. But of course, I'm sure we all remember a time where new builds, you know, they were really hard to come by because they were so popular, they didn't have to give incentives. You had to pay 15 grand extra for your spotlights and your fancy work surfaces. Whereas that's definitely a sign of a supply and demand offset, I think, isn't it? That they are willing to give those things away. And that sort of level of incentive is something that the average person, perhaps in one of your markets, can't give. Not everybody can just knock 20 grand off by way of an incentive, can they? Unless, of course, it's all relative. So, you know, a lot of people lose sight of the fact that if you sell for less, as long as you buy for less, generally speaking, it balances itself out, doesn't it? There are other factors to that, of course, as well.
The thing for me that's really frustrating is everything costs so much more money. So I can imagine in your area, when you've got a buyer potentially having to spend money on materials and labour to get a job done, and these developers are there and they'll just do it within the price of it, you know, being available. It's a no-brainer, isn't it, sometimes for people to take on that project and those costs.
And rightly so. Like there's obviously people that, you know, enter a buying process, and I think this is why it's, to a certain extent, it's good that they're looking at trying to adjust the house buying sort of process. But, you know, I was with someone this morning that they've pulled out a house because the quotes that they're having back to do the work that they want to do is just astronomical. A lot more than they anticipated.
It's a shame that.
Yeah, it is. So they're back in on the property search. Hence probably why fall throughs are high still this year. Hence why average house price is around 7% nationally.
Yeah.
I mean that, if we go off our areas, let's say 400 grand, you're talking, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And that is a big chunk, there's no doubt about it.
What's that, 30 grand? Close to 30 grand?
Absolutely.
And we're seeing that, I think, again, price reductions is a record high, certainly over the last 12, 18 months anyway. So I don't see this market progressed in the last 2 or 3 years. Is there no situation where you're going out to that you valued in 23 or 24 and you're going back out to it, I just want an updated market appraisal, and they're expecting it to have increased?
I think naturally they expect more anyway as the years go on.
So the answer to that question is yes.
Yes.
So even actually this week I've been out to see somebody who we went out to previously, and their expectation was they'd have had probably 30 grand's worth of growth, which in different markets gone by, that may have happened, but it really hasn't happened. So I understand that there's an element of perhaps growth hasn't been quite as significant, but that's a huge generalisation. So come back to your original question. So at Redditch, generally speaking, up to probably £500,000, things are turning over really well, really quickly. A lot of our good stock at the right price, and I think we'll come back to that point because it's a point I want to make, is coming on and selling within the first couple of weeks. The higher end, again, generally is harder work, but we've put on some really beautiful, like individual or really nicely positioned, they have to have a special feature, property between 500 and £1 million, not much at 2 million in Redditch, and we are still getting interest, and not every time, but we are selling them. So I think when you get to a certain level of wealth, it almost is a micro market, I think, but probably my experience of that, because the price point in Redditch is lower, is different to yours. You might have 10 properties on the market between 900 grand and 2 million, whereas I might have one, for example. So as I say, perspective possibly is slightly different.
I'm just struggling to see the positive at the moment in comparison to what you are. So give me another couple of reasons then why you think over the next 6 months that it's going to stabilise or move forward.
Okay, so from my side, I understand, there's more stock available. But if we just look on a sort of granular level at the Redditch market, the key, first of all, if we're giving advice to people, is valuing accurately, isn't it?
Yeah.
You talked about price reductions. Well, I think a lot of agents are so intent on winning the business, they artificially inflate the value anyway, which is setting a client up for a fall. I appreciate at times it can be difficult, can't it? You see three agents.
We never get anything right all the time.
No.
But you've got to be big enough and strong enough to be able to go back to them and say,
absolutely,
look, we got this wrong, or the way the market is currently.
Yeah, for sure. But in the first instance, if we all work for different companies and somebody invited all of us out and we gave a different perspective, having never met us before, it's probably quite difficult for the client to decide, well, who's genuine, who's telling the truth, who's using a bit of a sales tactic to get them on the market. But you've got to back it up with evidence, haven't you, first and foremost, to get that price right. So from my side, if we're getting the price right, the buyers are there. Interest rates at the minute are lower than they have been. They have been trending down slightly. We'll come on to this later. Keir Starmer's resigned today, hasn't he?
He has.
So who knows what impact that's going to have, positively or negatively, on market conditions. Exactly. There's two perspectives. But I'm big on the positivity of people always need to move for one reason or another. Change of job, having a baby, etc., etc. And it seems for us that demand in Redditch is still really strong, and supply of property, granted, is probably higher than it has been, but what that means is the overpriced things are sticking, and the stuff that, again, you said it earlier, we don't always get it right, but generally the stuff that we're listing is turning over really quickly. So I think that's a hugely positive thing.
So do you think this is a better market than this time last year?
Do you know what I do? Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, I really do. You obviously don't.
No, not at all.
Well, we had obviously a really strong positive start to 25, and then the back sort of last 2 quarters. So it will be interesting to see. I mean, it could completely go the other way this year.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think. I mean, average house price is quite different between Bromsgrove and Redditch.
Yeah.
And I think that does have an impact because when we're in South Birmingham today at the Neighbourhood, average house price here is considerably lower again to Bromsgrove. And when I speak to obviously South Birmingham team, in terms of sales up to 300,000, they're not short of it.
Yeah.
But our average house price is significantly higher.
So what is your average house price? Sorry to interrupt.
It's close to 400,000.
Close to 400. Okay, all right. So we're probably 325-ish, something like that, around Redditch.
And when you think what you get for 325 to 400, you are
Yeah.
going from maybe a nice 3-bed semi to a 4-bed detached.
Yeah.
And the 4-bed detached is
What's your
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
vendor mentality about making reductions in order to get that momentum of interest? Do you find people are holding out and just saying, look, we'll just stick at the same price point, even if there is no interest and there's no kind of...
Yeah, it's interesting because, again, a good agent will obviously have
strategy.
those conversations and strategies along the way.
Yes.
You know, even if it's, well, look, you guys, we've established there's no rush. You don't want to, you know, sort of reduce by an amount that we feel that may get interest through the door now. So why don't you take some time off the market, take the property out of the limelight, should we say?
Giving it a break.
Give it a break. And like a good agent would have those conversations. They're honest conversations, aren't they?
Yeah,
They absolutely are, and I think to an extent, you know, if we feel that something is too much money, but the client wants us to try it anyway, then I think as long as you lay the foundations as early as possible, you know, we will proceed conditional on the fact that if we haven't generated enough interest within a period of time, then we would have to look at reducing the price. But again, to the question you asked, I think it's a matter of perspective, isn't it? Because if you're talking about a property at, you know, 1 to 2 million quid, well, there's two ways of looking at it. You could look at it and think, well, a 25 grand reduction at that price point, and again, I'm generalising, but does 25 grand mean that much to someone who's got a 2 million quid house? You would argue probably not. But they're also, you know, probably quite affluent and savvy, and perhaps they haven't got the motivation for whatever reason, I don't know. And so they might be prepared to leave it sitting there for a longer period. Whereas your family in a 4-bed detached that are desperate to move because they've got a baby coming to a 5-bed detached, you know, okay, they might not have as much disposable income as your 2 million quid person, but you'd argue they're more motivated.
Yeah.
So therefore they'd probably be more willing to make a price adjustment.
But your house at 1.5 million, it's not needing a 25 grand reduction.
It's going to be much more significant.
You're talking
those price points are further,
grand.
they're further away, and I think that's a difficult one as well. People aren't expecting to see £20,000 reductions.
No. And of course, I gave that as an example figure, but you know, if you take 10% of 2 million, it's obviously a lot different to 10% of 200 grand, isn't it? So I take that on board.
I think the good thing is we've got a really strong database. So in these areas where you've got a lot of competition and also vendor expectations are naturally higher, I think kind of testing a database price before it goes live is also really, really good.
I think that's a really good point, actually, but that comes down to strategy, doesn't it?
Strategy.
I mean, so often, and I want to be really clear here, I'm not sort of, you know, speaking negatively of any estate agents, but I'm generalising that a lot of people's perception is, well, you take some photos and you stick it on Rightmove.
And everybody does the same.
Yeah, and they all do that. Well, you all take pictures and you all put it on Rightmove. I mean, I hear that so often.
Yeah.
And then you have to get down into the nitty-gritty of justifying the difference.
Yeah.
But, you know, we are incredibly established in all of the areas that we operate. So we have built up genuine, and that's a key word, databases of people looking to move. So your low-profile marketing as a strategy is something that could work really well.
I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
You're not exposing your client to Rightmove.
You know, maybe the competitive agents in my areas are lower than what you guys get.
Okay.
But even with a lower number of competitor agents, when you go up against somebody that gives somebody an overinflated value, and that's all you want to hear. You want to hear that your house is worth the most money. I never argue that it's not worth that money if they've heard it from another agent. What I say to them is, you're able to test that market without detrimenting the property publicly, and that has worked. It also works the other way as well. There's people that see it, and because they're not seeing it on the live open market, they're prepared to pay a premium in order to prevent it going to market as well. So again, it's strategy, and you can't use the same strategy for each property.
I'm going to play devil's advocate a little bit here.
Go on then.
Because if you don't go onto the open market, can you ever say that you've got best price for your house?
It depends on what their motivations are. It's exposure over, if you've got an expectation and that expectation is met, it's risk, isn't it?
And I also think it depends on that level of pre-marketing. So if your pre-marketing generates a buyer, and we all know you only need one buyer, right? But then I would probably back that up and say, well, no, you can't say that you've got best price because you've only exposed it to that one buyer. But we've done pre-marketing. That's my point.
So
we've done pre-marketing in the past where you might get 6 people pre-market, and so I would argue with that sample size, you're much more likely to get market value or possibly above. But I think Jade's point's really valid, that it depends on their motivation. To some people, getting an extra 5 or 10 grand is the most important thing. To others, it isn't, and it's the speed and it's the lack of exposure. Perhaps there's a reason they want things promoted in a different way, and so they might be prepared to make that compromise, I guess.
Again, I think at that point of adopting a strategy that's going to fit that particular client at that particular time, you've got to give them knowledge on how many people they've got that match the criteria of the property. So the database buyers, you've got to look into the nitty-gritty of what position they're also in. Are they proceedable? What exactly are they looking for? And if there's a low number, from the offset, you've got to tell those people there are only 6 families that I can introduce to your property. And it might be that at that point, those 6 families might not all be the right buyer for you. You can still expose it. So, it's
a good way, isn't it? It's a good tool to use.
A slight tangent. There's an agent in our area, obviously I'm not going to say who, but they go out, like we all have an idea of buyers, don't we?
Yeah.
But they sort of physically go out with a list to show the client so it looks really genuine. And they're winning business on the back of, I've got 6 people that want to buy your house, and lo and behold, those are the ones that are still sat on the market 3 or 4 weeks later. So I guess my word of warning is, you've really got to make sure that the person sat in front of you is genuine. And that you do your research prior to that person coming out.
There's ways of looking at statistics, isn't there? So you've got to back it up. You can't just say you've got market share.
Absolutely.
And the most amount of buyers if actually you haven't got market share.
So touching on that, old positive man over there.
Come on then.
Are you honestly going out to everyone and saying that this is a good, strong market?
The caveat being, okay. The caveat being it depends on what I'm going out to.
Okay.
But if I, gave you the example of up to £500,000, things are turning over really well. I'm not being unrealistic with expectations. I will manage a seller's expectations carefully. But if I go and list a nice 3-bed semi or a 2-bed terrace, or in certain areas a 4-bed detached, absolutely I would say to them, you know what, yes, there's a lot of doom and gloom on the telly, but actually in Redditch terms, boots on the ground, the market currently is strong. Supply of certain properties is high, but not all, and demand for certain properties is high as well in our area. Absolutely.
Okay, so he's Mr. Positive around a price point. Yeah.
That's the caveat.
That.
Yeah.
And I'm the same. Up to a certain price point, it is a positive market. But after a certain price point, it's the most challenging that it's ever been, in my opinion.
the most challenging that it's ever been.
Yeah.
Time it from
Wow.
my time in
Wild.
Bromsgrove. This is the hardest market.
Wow. That's that both of you on the same page. there.
Yeah, like absolutely. But
You
price
blow
point.
my mind. Yeah.
And that's where there's obviously more to it than just the base rate,
Yeah.
which I think in years gone by, after COVID, there was always going to be a little bit of pent-up demand. But let's be honest, everyone wanted to jump on the bandwagon because the base rate was never going to be as low as it was. We saw.
Well, that was only ever going to go one way, right?
Exactly. But I feel there's a lot more layers to this.
Yeah.
And I think it's stuttered for two years now, personally. And that's where my struggle is, because I'm going back out to stuff that I went out to in 23 or 24, and a lot of it I cannot say that it's moved forward in price.
So are the clients that you're going out to see, as we touched on, expect it to move forwards? Number one.
Most do.
Okay. And so when you deliver the news that, Mr. Doom and Gloom in the corner, well, actually, no, it hasn't moved on. Are they minded to move, do you think? I suppose it depends on circumstance.
It comes down to circumstances.
But some have been naturally disappointed.
Yeah. I mean, look, I listed one on a very, very popular road, a nice 4-bed detached. They bought in 23 for 725. It's not long completed for 695.
Wow.
So a popular area of Bromsgrove as well.
Yeah. I mean, that really surprises me, because, again, in certain parts of Redditch, we've noticed prices tracking up from that point.
So June this year, 0.6% down house price.
Really?
It's fallen over 0.5%.
And that doesn't
That's
surprise
Halifax,
me.
3 months in a row.
I mean,
fallen.
to give you an example, and again, to people watching without physically showing you something to back it up, it's difficult to visualise, but I've even been out to some stuff that bought at peak in 2022, and we are realistically talking about a higher price as a comparison, whereas a lot of properties that were bought at peak and people massively overpaid because they were competing with 30 other people, some have gone up, absolutely.
Yours have gone up in price?
Yeah, not all of them, but specific examples. I'm sure we've all done it, where you look on Rightmove, Best Price Guide, whatever, and find what they paid, and you see 2022, and you may automatically, by the sounds of it, you two more than me, you might look at it and think, blimey, I bet they paid too much, I bet that's dropped.
Oh, there's an element
Well,
of that,
actually, when you comp it and you look at supply and demand in an area, it's absolutely possible that we can get more than the purchase price back then.
Yeah.
I can't say that's a sweeping generalisation, but in certain instances, that's how my perspective clearly is really different to yours.
Yeah, I mean, certainly not, I think average would have been sort of a 4 or 5% increase year on year. We are just not seeing that.
No.
That's all. And I think that's probably national as well. I don't think there's any real pockets of the country that are seeing a
That are bucking the trend,
yeah,
if you like.
I mean, if you look at like London, well, I think we all would assume that that's gone down, but there's a fall of about 7% in some areas.
Yeah.
Which is a lot.
Well, it is, and I think that market, again, I used the term earlier, micro market. I mean, I suppose that's
High value.
very, very heavily influenced by external investment, higher value, the value of currency and so on.
Yeah.
Possibly more so than it would be in other areas, possibly. Yeah. How are you, just out of interest then, finding the process in terms of time frames? So are you thinking that from the point of, say, selling a property subject to contract to completion, has that sped up for you? Are you finding that it's taking longer, less time?
I think it's taking longer for a property to go under offer.
Yeah.
On average.
To get under offer. And what about the next point? So from under offer to completion, how are you finding that?
I think it's okay.
Yeah. I was going to say.
I think we use very good conveyancers, and we've got good sales progressors on board as well. So as long as that communication is there,
It's not just about this potential reform, isn't it, of buying?
Yeah, absolutely. So for
Great
those that
news.
don't know, admittedly it might take some time to come in, but there's various things that have been talked about. There's been talk about mandatory qualifications in the estate agency industry, which is something that I'm a big believer in. And I think for us, where we've got an apprenticeship
Because
programme...
you two got your letters after you know.
Well, you know...
No, but I think it should have been a thing years ago. I actually do.
Got my letters engraved
Because
on my
otherwise,
bridge,
anybody
in case
can
you're
go out
wondering.
there and, look at a bit of research and value your house.
Yeah.
It's
No, it's not a bad thing.
No, I think it's a good thing. But
Totally.
the point that I was going to make is we've got an apprenticeship programme at Arden, haven't we? And some of these boys and girls that we're putting through these apprenticeships, they will come out of it with an industry recognised qualification, and that's huge, really powerful. The other thing that they're looking at is I don't know what the terminology they used is, but basically certain packs that are being provided up front to speed up the process of conveyancing. Now, Matt and I chatted off camera, but even if that shaves off 2 to 3 weeks, which it might, they're talking about more, but that's still a big amount of time, isn't it?
I'm unsure why there's quite a lot of negative in terms of conveyancers suggesting that this isn't going to happen. That's what I'm a little bit unsure about.
Yeah, I mean,
that's on the estate agent today, so I don't know whether they feel that that's unachievable.
Yeah.
Shaving it off 2 to 4 weeks, but
I suppose it depends what's put in front of them, doesn't it? If there's a pack that fundamentally saves them doing X, Y, and Z elements of the job that they would normally do because it's already been done for them, well, surely it's inarguable that that would save quite a lot of time.
I think it's great.
With a management pack
I think it's
already
brilliant.
there, up to date. Surely that only helps.
Do you know what it reminded me of in a very old school way? Do you remember home information packs?
Yeah.
When they came out with searches and so this topic has been in and out of government for years and years.
I can't wait for it.
Yeah?
I think, I think
Is that because you've got the qualification?
not just.
I don't know why I said it like that. I have too. It's just him on the end that hasn't.
No, I don't think it's about the qualification. Really, I do think that's a good thing because I think more knowledge that you have, the better, the better knowledge you can pass on.
Yeah.
I just think the buyer pack.
Yeah.
Again, the more knowledge that they can have, the better sales that are going to be put together, and the quicker things are going to go through.
I do think as well, and a lot of people.
That's got to be good news.
A lot of people won't have been exposed to this that are watching this, but we're sort of more geared up to these sort of changes than perhaps some agents are, because things like material information regulations and making sure that we're extracting as much information out of a seller prior to marketing, so we've got more information to pass on to a buyer. These things are kind of paving the way. Exactly, it helps.
We
massively.
get really good feedback. In fact, like the negotiators are so geared up on viewings. A lot of people will say, we've been to view properties with other agents, and the viewing reps just literally open doors, and they know nothing about the property. They have to go back. So that's, I think that's unhelpful. If you're going to see a property, you want to be shown around by somebody that knows.
I couldn't agree more,
basics,
but I think it's because, and I've sort of seen this firsthand throughout my career, a lot of agents perceive a viewing as something that anyone can do. It's almost a formality. Just go and open the door and let them in, and they'll look around. But it's so easy to get a viewing wrong, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
And it's such an integral part of what we do. Because clearly, that's the bit that sells the house ultimately. But that can be, if someone turns up informed, the difference between them leaving and thinking, great, I know everything, I want to make an offer, and a week's messing around back and forth with questions. So that's a hugely important thing, isn't it? So really, then you're saying, to go from that sale agreed point to completion. It's taking longer.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got some stats here actually written down. So the national average from sold to completion is 140 days. It's 20 weeks. Ours is better than that. Here's a little test for you. Does anyone know what it is?
Go on, Jade. Have a go.
Give me a guess.
I'm going to say 122.
Okay. Matthew?
115.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
I hope neither of you saw what I'd written down. So
Can't
it's
read
100.
your writing
I know.
for a start.
To be fair,
I know what I was gonna say.
I'm not sure I can. I don't know what it says. 6 days? No, maybe not. 126 days.
Okay.
So that's our average time as a company for us to go
So 2 weeks
from
under.
sold to
That's
completion. 2 weeks under's massive.
Yeah.
If you think about it, that's really massive.
Yeah.
So, yeah, more positivity. Does that wrap us up for today?
It does.
It does indeed.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good.
Do we know where we're going next? Or are we keeping that secret?
Well, I do know where we're going next. Do you want me to announce it?
Yeah, go on.
Okay, so
Does Jade know where we're going?
Jade doesn't know.
I don't know.
Oh.
So it's going to be a surprise
It's
for
quite
Jade.
exciting.
In fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to tell you something. I'm not going to tell you where we're going. We're doing a podcast on a bus.
I already know.
I think Hannah will like that.
I
You-
think
you
everybody
already
will know that. Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, okay. Well, we're
Breakfast
going.
spot.
No,
Yes, it is.
no, we're not. We're going to Dudley's Coaches.
It's not even funny.
I've
We're
paid
going
the driver to
Clive
move.
and Flavel, and we're going to Toast, which is my favourite, and the kids'
Okay.
favourite breakfast spot. Love
Well,
it.
Okay.
you may or may not be right, but that's my neck of the woods.
Watch
Just
this
'cause
space.
you're
So
on
watch this
the
space.
podcast.
Huge thank you again to
Yes.
Callum
Neighbourhood.
and the Neighbourhood. I don't spend that much time in Rubery. It's not an area I'm massively familiar with, but it's a really cool spot, this.
It's very different, isn't it?
It's
good.
intimate. There's a bar out the back, which a TV
playing
out the back,
football.
sorry, which Callum's getting the football going. There's a lovely decked area out the front.
Pie night,
Exactly.
roast
They do
once a month.
pie night. They do roast.
Yeah.
So, and he's a lovely guy as well. We've had
Yeah.
some lovely
It's
chats
a very
with him.
chilled vibe in here, isn't
Yeah, I
it?
love it.
Absolutely,
It's
just
great.
Little
intimate,
after-work spot.
chilled, little beer. Yeah, nice coffee. So thanks, Callum. We really appreciate
Yeah,
you
cheers, Callum.
letting us have the venue. Nice to see you guys again.
Yeah, you
And,
too, mate.
um,
I'll be more
supporters.
positive next month.
Well, I hope so.
I'll try.
You've been miserable today.
No, he hasn't been that
A
much.
little bit.
I just think he's true. Like he's just being real.
Oh, I've upset
I'm waiting
him.
for football tomorrow
Oh dear.
night.
All right.
Come on,
okay.
England.